Hi Flosstube, I'm Chris the Camping Stitcher, and I'm back with episode number 23. Today is Saturday, March 4th, 2023. Welcome. If you're returning, thank you for coming back. If you're new, I hope you'll stick around and find something that you like. I primarily talk about cross stitch with a little bit of quilting in there. Today I'll be talking about English paper piecing. I have some of my quilt to show, so I'll let you know at the end, so if you want to skip that part. And I do have a little campfire story at the end, so I'll definitely let you know when that happens. I do have a FFO, a finish, and some whips to show you. It's a blustery day here. We had a mix of everything this week. Rain, snow. We had about 4 inches of snow. Delayed opening for school on Tuesday, which is fine. You know, I was hoping for a snow day, but rather not make up the day at this point. And Wednesday, I was a little under the weather, so I stayed home. It's just been a crazy week. Lots of illness going around at work, and just so happy it's the weekend. We have a day off coming on the 13th, so I'm just like looking forward to having some downtime, and I think that's about it. Really no remarkable life updates. I have had fun this past week with a new stitcher who's asked for some advice, so it's been really nice chatting with them and answering their questions, and I think it kind of renews your, why you got into cross stitch in the beginning. It's amazing what you do when you're cross stitching for a little while, what you kind of take for granted in terms of like, your habits and how you stitch and how you maybe put your floss on drops or, bobbins. It's weird. It's really weird. Things that you kind of take for granted, you kind of revisit them, and it's really interesting. And it's nice just to see someone having fun with it, somebody who's new to it and enjoying it, and it's fun watching them have fun. So that was new this week. I really enjoyed that. What else do we have to talk about? I have a little bit of haul. Nothing, markets this weekend. We did have our first featured designer stitch night on Zoom last Tuesday. Nancy, the Disorderly Stitcher, and I hosted it, and we had a good amount of people show up, and it was just a lot of fun. Our focus was on Hands Across the Sea, and a lot of us were stitching, but Hands Across the Sea projects, but some of us were just stitching other things or doing other things, so it was really nice. It was just a nice little stitchy night. It's just fun to see what everybody's working on and what they want to, maybe purchase later on or plan to do or have kitted up already. It was really just a really nice stitchy night. So we'll be doing that again at the end of March. Right now on my Facebook group, it's also the Camping Stitcher, and there's a link in the description box. You can go and vote for who you'd like to see us focus on the next time. The choices this time are Plum Street Samplers and Teresa Kogut. And whoever we don't pick this time, we'll have for April's featured designer stitch night. So yeah, go over there and join our Facebook group. I have a page and Nancy has a page, the Disorderly Stitcher, and we'll be posting links to the next stitchy night on both of our pages. So give us a join over there. And this weekend is the weekend 4x4, which is a little thing that I have going on. It originally started as like, how there's I had done the 6 in 6 with Alicia, the Fanciful Flamingo, back in November, and it was it was sort of similar to that, but I had some people, you know, like just say, oh, you know, I'm not stitching, or I can't stitch, or I'm going to be sewing, or I'm going to be quilting. And I thought to myself, well, it's all crafting, so why not just take 4 hours for yourself? So it doesn't matter. Stitch, quilt, crochet, craft, make something. Just take 4 hours for yourself. Use the hashtag weekend 4. It's the number 4, BY4, the number 4. Use that hashtag. Tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see what you're working on. You can tag me in the group, on the Facebook group, because that's what's really going on in the group this weekend. Everybody's, a lot of people are participating, posting pictures already about what they're working on. I've been working on a couple of things. I had planned on doing some finishing this week, and that didn't happen, so no big deal. You know, I got some stitching in. But yeah, it's I'm going to be doing this once a month, pretty much. Summertime, we might, you know, take a break, depending upon, you know, vacation plans and stuff like that. But so far, you know, I think people are enjoying it. I think people really kind of enjoyed the featured designer stitch night too. So I got a lot of good feedback on that, and I think Nancy did too. So join us. It's just another way to get together and stitch together and share inspiration and perhaps a little bit of enabling, I've been told. So, okay, enough. If in case you haven't noticed, this is a channel about basically jibber jabber about cross stitch. So just, you know, putting that out there. What do I have going on first? Let me show you my FFO. So this is something I finished stitching, I want to say March of last year. I finished the stitching on it. I started it in September of 2021. There was a sale going on. I think it was a Mother's Love. I'm not sure. I can't remember the sale. But this was a anniversary kit from Traditional Stitches. It was for their 20th anniversary, and I ordered the kit from them. And it is What Remains by Blackbird Designs. It has since been released. I think it was released last year at Market. So I'm pretty sure you can still get this. I finished it in honor of my mom, and I finally framed it, and I'm just really happy with how it turned out. I can't wait to hang it up on the wall. I used the year I finished it in, and I made a couple of changes. I'm not a fan of satin stitch, so I did, in a lot of places where there was satin stitch, I put cross stitches. So that's the only real change I made in this. But I love the way it came out. It's just really pretty. It's a blackbird, I mean, and it's a nice tribute to my mom. I'll always think about her when I see it, so yeah. I used, I think the fabric is 36 count straw by Weeks Dye Works, and I used the call for threads on that. So, yep, that is my FFO. And I had a finish this week. Now, I know people were like, wow, you stitched that fast. I really did not stitch this fast, honest. I started this in April of 2022, and I just finished it March 2nd. So I started it April 2nd, 2022, and finished it March 2nd, 2023. And this is the ES Spot Motif Sampler by A Female Worth. And you can find this, I bought it on 1884 Stitchery, and I believe she owns them now, the patterns, and it was a PDF download. I used the called for threads, which I gotta tell you, some of these combinations were like wacky, but they go. I mean, they work. It is on 36 count Flannel Flower by Fox and Rabbit, which is one of my favorites. And I did change a few things. Now, as you can see, you know, there was white that wasn't really showing. So one of these, I think it was this dog down here, he had a white body, and then like it would have looked like a floating head. So I just changed him to match this dog over here. The peacock's legs were white, and that would have been like it was floating. I did not like that, so I changed that. And this bird also had white legs, and I did use the same floss as this basket. It shows a little bit better. But if I had really thought about it, I think I might have changed out that white. The white in the border pops because it's usually by some of the Turkish red. So it kind of, you can kind of still see it. But I'm happy with this. I'm going to order a frame for it. It's done. And I did change, right here was the E and the S in 4-sided stitch. Now I used just my initials in cross stitch, and it was easy enough to chart it out. So that was my finish this week, which was kind of cool to have a finish. First finish of March. I did meet my WIPGO goals of February, and already then there's I think the new numbers this month of March is 2 and 22, and one of mine was already done because I finished the maker and amender. I finished that ahead of time. So what I have to work on is hooker and hollow, and my goal is to stitch on each whip 4 times or more, and that's, you know, it could be one length of thread, 1 hour. It's no pressure, but I like it that I'm keeping ahead of the goals. And the reason I finished ES Spot was because it was one of my February calls. So in that way, I think WIPGO is really helping me finish some things up and get some stuff done. Once I started back on ES Spot, I saw how close I was to getting it finished, so I just kept working on it. So I think that's where WIPGO is coming in really handy with me. Okay. So I'm hoping this won't be a long video. I hate to do that to you guys, make you sit for too long. I have notes. See? These wonderful sheets from Katie, the Naptime Stitcher. Gosh, I'm so glad I have them because I follow them half the time, but at least it's better than nothing. Okay, so I have my FFOs, oh, whips. So I've been working on quite a few things. We, during the Feature Designer Stitch Night, I worked on Anton Ufendel and managed to get one more flower done. I'm really happy. So there she is. Oh, I just love it. Well, not done. You can see I have a few more stitches to do. But I worked on that flower. They take a while. I gotta be honest. You don't realize how much stitching is in there, but love it. My border met up. I fixed it. If you are working on this and you haven't heard anything about it, the corners, each corner of this chart is different. So you can't just like get into a rhythm and count and go around the whole thing and have it meet up. Each of the corners is different, and it you have to really just look at the chart when you get to the corners to see how the stitches are arranged. Each corner is not the same. Like, it's not like it's different, but it's the same in each corner. They're all different. So somebody had mentioned it, and I was glad to have that mentioned because I wouldn't have noticed it. I get into a rhythm and I just keep stitching, and then it's too late. And I drop my notes. Hang on 1 minute. All right. Okay. So that was Anton. I also worked on Live on Little this week. Nancy and I had a couple of stitchy chats, and it's perfect time to chat and get some work done on Live on Little, because that water, holy cow, my goodness. But I'm getting there. I mean, oh gosh, I'm showing you the back. Jeez Louise, I'm getting there. It's always nice to show the front of something, right? Gotta get my eyes checked. Anyway, I'm really almost to the top of that one section of water, and then I'll have the side to do, and then I can get moving on that house again. But I'd really like to get this finished up in 2023, because you don't realize how big it is. And I'd like to start another Plum Street, because I'm pretty sure that's going to be our featured pick for the next designer night. And I don't know, it just inspires me to start something new. And the other thing, let's see, I've been working on is the winter sampler. This is the sal that I'm hosting with Stitchy Linda, and it's a pattern by Crochet a Go-Go. And I have been working on this section right here, and I finished putting in the trees, did a little bit more on the border, and that owl, he's just so cute. Since I only have to split my time I don't have to split my time between two whips on the whip go, I think I could put more of this in, more time on this in. And this is done on, see the notes I have? They're just great. It is done on Desert Taipan, 36 count Fox and Rabbit with the called for DMC. I love this. I love how it's coming out. I love her patterns. Her patterns are just adorable. So those are my whips. Now, I did have a new start. A new start on March 1st. There's a Sal, Denise Stitches, has a group on Facebook. It's the PCS High Rules. And it's a stitch along. I think it started with a group of gals that met at one of the retreats where Primrose Cottage was. So they decided to start this, and they invited us all along. So also Alicia, the Fanciful Flamingo, and Kathy Walker of Two Needles Pulling Thread are doing another Sal. It's hashtag all the bees. And I don't know if it's Sal afterward. I'll put it in the box below. So you can kind of do double duty on this. But I did start this, and it is on the piece of Antong is on Baby Sheep by Extrude Design, 36 count. I had to chop off the bottom of that, and it was perfect. It was the perfect piece for this High Rules. So I am using that for the this piece. It's 36 count. It calls for multiple counts. So you could do this in 25 count, you could do it in 18 or 36, 16 or 32, 14, 28, which I think is great. They give you all those options. And I am using Hand Dyed Silks by Vicki Clayton. They are gorgeous. Oh my gosh. I've worked with 103s, I've worked with MPIs, I've worked with Dinky Dyes. I have to say, I think these are my favorite silks. I just love them. They're just so nice to work with, and the colors are beautiful. And I think in this chart, there's a bonus chart. And also I think there's another chart, ABCs, that has the same colors, that calls for the same or very similar or colors. They overlap a little bit. I think I might do that one too. All to send them into the bees. So that was my new start. March 1st. Not that long ago, just this week. Seems like, I don't know. Seems like I started a while ago. I don't know why I want to have a new start, because I just started something, so goodness sakes. So, okay. Now, I believe it's time for haul. And I do have some. First, I have my very first Twin Peak Primitives. It's the limited edition, I think they're called. It's on the special page. So Nancy, who calls me an enabler, a motivational person, thank you, Nancy, she kind of texted me one night and said she was ordering this, and why don't I order it too? So of course I was like, I don't know. I ended up ordering it. I've never ordered from them before, so this is kind of really, I love the way they package it. So here's the chart. It is Home of the Brave. Sadly, I think it's sold out. I'm not sure how they handle their limited editions. If it's just the kit that's limited and they'll come out with a pattern, I'm not really sure, but it's really cute. And it came with all the floss, the ring, floss drops, little tea, little nail files, and the bag, this bag, and coasters, which I think are adorable. And they're perfect. They work very well for my water glass. And it came with, now when I went to get it, the even weave was sold out, so it came with the Ada. So this is 14 count, and I think it's called Stern. 14 count Stern Ada. It's a gray 718. So I'm not sure. I'm kind of on the fence if I want to. I have no objection to working on Ada. I don't like using 2 strands. So I don't know if I'm going to maybe see if I can get this in a 18 count, or if I can find it similar color in a 36 count, but I definitely don't want to do it on a 14. So I might give this to my new stitchy person, my new stitchy learner person, and I think that it'll be used, so not a waste. So that was my first bit of haul. I just actually put off this Flosstube today because I was waiting for a 1, 2, 3 stitch order, and I wanted and it just came right before I started doing this. All right, I did order 2 designs by Brenda Gervais that I had my eyes on. So this one of them is Faith of the Heart, which is just so pretty. And the other one was the Needleworker Sampler, which I really would love to. I'm sorry, glary. Would really love to start this soon. I feel the same way about Brenda Gervais patterns as I do about Blackbirds. Like, I have to have most of them. And I stitch a lot of them, so I don't feel so bad. The other thing that came out, which, holy cow, when I saw that she was putting it out, I was like, add to cart. Christine, Whilst Iris Naps, she had done a special sampler for the Guild of the Rockies, I think it was, and had said, you know, it was going to come out at some time. Well, she just released it, Martha Martin 1831, and it is amazing. Holy cannoli. And you know, I'm partial to samplers that don't have big verses. I don't object to the verse, but sometimes it just doesn't resonate with me. So I don't mind when you have the girl's information, you know, her name and when it was stitched and stuff. I think that's a neat remembrance of them. And sometimes I leave it. Most times I leave it. There's probably like 1 or 2 times where I might do something different, but on this one I think I'll stitch it as is. But it's gorgeous. Can you understand why I want to start something? Because all the things are, and forget about when my market pre-orders come. I did order some floss and a pattern and some fabric from 123 Stitch that came today. I needed to refresh my Vintage Country Mocha stock, 36 count, because you gotta have that. And I've been eyeing this pattern by Jeanette Douglas for a little while, Matter in Hand. So I'm going to make that for my room. I just, and that probably will be on the Vintage Country Mocha. I don't know what it calls for. 40 count extra design marble painter. Painter or pointer? Anyway, no, sorry, it was Summer Khaki. Zweigart Summer Khaki. Maybe I should read the pattern. 40 count extra designs marbled painter. A great match is Zweigart Summer Khaki. So yeah, you can, okay. And the last piece of fabric, if you have not gotten your Fox and Rabbit Fabric of the Month, mine came and I wanted to show it. Look away. I don't want to spoil it for you. This is, I'm in the Neutrals Club, so this is 36 count. I don't want to say the name out just in case people aren't looking. I think back here, it's got like a pinky cast to it, but it's got some gray in it. Really super pretty. So that's, I love their fabric. Brenda and Karen do an awesome job. Well, Brendan does the dyeing, so Karen does the serging, I guess. So that was my haul. The other haul I have is I went and did it. I got the Brytech. Ooh. Light View Pro with the magnifier. I bought the 3x diopter. One of the girls in our Stitchy, we have a Stitchy Zoom. Sometimes we just have Stitchy Zoom. So if you're in our Facebook groups, we'll just say if anybody wants to stitch on a random time, random Sunday, or random Tuesday, we'll post a Zoom link. Rebecca, she was the one that was stitching and she was using this, and these eyes are getting old, so she was kind enough to go over the features of it. I think Raspberry Stitcher Barber also has something, she has the 5x diopter of that. I thought 5x was too much for me. So I think the 3x is just right. I haven't used the magnifier as much yet, but I sit with this light over my head and it just like puts this whole area of wonderful clear light around me, and my eyes do not get as fatigued. I have, really good lamps around me. It's just that I don't think that they were giving me enough of an area of light to not have to use more than one lamp. This is perfect. And I'll link it below if you want. I am an Amazon affiliate. You don't have to use the links and it doesn't cost you anything, but I'm full disclosure. If I post a link and it's from Amazon, it's going to be an affiliate link. So just so you know that. No biggie. I'm not, like I said, I'm not in this to, I'm not making floss tubes to make money. The money that I make just pays for postage if I have postage content. If I have a giveaway, it helps with that. It's not anything, remarkable. But talking about giveaways, I'm still waiting to hear from one person. So Rhonda, I'm sorry I didn't mail your, it's ready to go. I wanted to make one trip to the post office, so I'm going to wait, see if she caught the other winner. The other winner was Owl and Gator Stitcher. So Owl and Gator Stitcher, if you could email me, my email's down below. We'll get both of those packages out. Sorry for the delay, Rhonda. Thank you for your patience. Okay. So, market this weekend. I'm pretty excited. I am watching the posts on Instagram and it looks like everybody's having a great time. That would be fun to go to sometime. I have 2 pre-orders. And when I say 2, I mean there were multiple items in each of those. We'll see when they come in. I'll be patient. But I've got enough to keep me busy, so it's not a big deal. I do have a new, I'm going to have a new start. Teresa Kogut is going to start her new mystery stitch along on March 15th. And she put out in her Patreon group, so this is for her Patreon. If you're a tier 4 patron, you can be a part of this stitch along. And the last one was Strawberry Manor, which is fantastic. So I don't have any doubt that this one is going to be just as fantastic. So she did put out the information onto fabric requirements and floss requirements. So the call for fabric that she's using is 40 count overcast. And I just happen, by Cedar River, I just happen to have 36 count, which is my favorite. And I just, in the order that came today, got the rest of my threads. So I am ready for the 15th. Cannot wait. On the edge of my seat. I don't know. I'm definitely starting it that day. So as soon as it comes out, as soon as Teresa puts out the pattern, it's a new start. So I guess I should be happy with that new start and not want to start anything else, but that's not going to happen. Okay. So that's part of my plans. Other plans are to continue stitching on Winter Sampler. I do have a Hawk Run Hollow stitch night coming up, so I'll have another check mark on that, which means I need to at least work on that 2 more times this month, which I can do, no problem. I might squeeze one of those in tomorrow. I have a new segment. It's called I Wish. So first, let me go over my playlist of who I've been watching Flosstube wise. My usual, every weekers that I want to catch up with. Sweetwater Stitcher, The Fanciful Flamingo. Dina, the Nightly Stitcher, just put out a new one. And thanks for the information, Dina, on the eye surgery. I'm glad yours came out okay. And because I was told this summer that I have the beginnings of cataracts, which I think is part of my issue with light. So I'll probably find out more. I'm kind of hoping that they're not progressing too fast, but at the same time, if what I'm experiencing is the progression of it, I kind of want to see what the time frame is in getting that fixed. So anyway, so my usual, the Disorderly Stitcher, who else did I watch? Oh, Needle and Flax, Rachel. She's doing a series on the First Ladies. I'm sure other people have mentioned it. It is fascinating. I now need to find the historic sampler book by Pat Ryan, and I am now going to read the book that she recommended on Martha Washington. Cannot wait. Her knowledge, historical knowledge on these First Ladies is amazing. Go give her a watch, because I'm going to watch it again. I was just so interested, and I just kept feeling like she just has a way of making it so interesting that I wanted to learn more. So, but the new to me Flosstuber that Nancy, this Disorderly Stitcher, told me about was Jennifer, the Calculated Stitcher. So I have a new channel to watch now, and I am going to have a ball catching up on all of her floss tubes, because she is awesome. She has just, her stitching is beautiful. Her background, her decor is amazing, and she's got a very nice way about her. So if you haven't watched her yet, like me, where have I been? She's got I think 75 videos. One thing I will say, and I've heard a couple of people say this, Carol Saltbox Stitcher, and people, there are trolls out there. There are mean people out there. I feel fortunate that I shouldn't say this, but I haven't stumbled on any of them. Everybody's been so kind and generous with their comments and encouragement, and I feel like I know everybody has said something about, these mean people or trolls that make these mean comments, but I think the thing that I want to say is that maybe we don't give them the power. Maybe we don't let them get to us that way. I know it's hard, and nobody likes to be have someone say something mean to them or criticize them in a mean way. But they're basically, I think anybody who does that, the comments is more about that person than it does about you. And it doesn't mean what they're saying is true. And you can't please everybody. And I think Liz from Antique Needleworkers said it the best, that every floss tube isn't for everybody. And there are so many of them now that you could just change the channel. Just change the channel. Go watch somebody else. If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. And if you're a troll, go get a hobby. I mean, take up cross stitch or something. It'll calm you down. There are people out there just to do things to rile people up. Let's not give them the power. This community is full of generous, nice, kind, sweet, encouraging, motivating people. I know it's hard to ignore those little annoying, mean, unkind ones, but let's just not give them the power. I know that's easier said than done, but let's give that a try. Delete, report, block. I don't know. It's, hurt people, and I know some people just can't help themselves, but we don't have to give them power over us. They can change the channel. They can go watch someone else. And if that's the thing that they're going to do with their time, there's nothing we can do about it. Anyway, soapbox out. That's all I have to say about that. Calculated Stitcher, and now my new segment, I wish. I think I'm going to do, I don't know that, I'm not trying to make people do something, but if you notice this little ladder behind me, there's an Instagrammer. Her name is Ginger Shawl. She's a prolific stitcher. She does beautiful finishes, beautiful arrangements, beautiful decor. She went and she got a ladder from Hobby Lobby. Now, this is not the same ladder because my husband saw the ladder and he said I can make that, and he made it. So, but she put her samplers on it. Now, I don't think I'm going to keep my samplers on it because I have plans for these two. That's getting framed, and that's going to be a wall hanging, that one. That's a modern folk embroidery. But I thought it was perfect for quilts. If I could pick someone that I wanted to start a Flosstube channel this week, this time around, it would be Ginger. I would love it. I just think she would be such... I think she'd have episode on episode on episode of things to show us. So, Ginger, if you're watching, I hope someday you consider it. I wish you would make a floss tube. So, that's my I wish segment. Let me just check my... I'm going to have my I forgot segment's going to be back next week because I feel like I'm all over the place. I told you about the next feature designer night is probably March 28th. It's a Tuesday. Go to my Facebook page and vote on who you want to see as the feature designer. I'll announce it on Monday on the page and probably on Instagram. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I'm mostly done with the cross stitch. And now I'm going to show the quilt. So if you are not interested, I will see you next time. Thank you for sticking with me. Thanks for hanging out with me, putting up with the jibber jabber. And I'm going to show the quilt. Hang on. Everything fell over. So this is the Jelly Garden. quilt. It's a grandmother's flower. Okay, let me get back up a little bit. And that is where I am. So I have this corner right here gets another half a flower. And then I have one more row. Well, yeah, sorry. Let me hold it the right way. Oh my gosh. That corner right there gets a half a flower, and I have another row to go. This is with French General. I had a French General jelly roll. I can't remember what the designer was on it, but I'm so excited to get this. Then it gets another row of white around it, and then I don't know. I think I'm gonna make the edges straight, and then I have to figure out how I'm going to quilt it. So I have my Juki has a long throat on it, so I was just, I don't know. I can't wait to have it in use. But I don't know if I want to quilt it, if I want to send it out. I don't know if I'm gonna, if anybody out there has that little Grace Cutie quilting frame. It's like a smaller version of a, let me know how you like it. I like the fact that it's compact. I don't mind that you have to move things in the frame, because when you're hand quilting, you have to do that anyway. But I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to quilt it. Sending it out is a possibility, but when I think about how much that costs, I could buy that little cutie and do like probably 4 quilts and have it work out. But is it something that's easy to use? Is it more trouble than it's worth? If you have it, let me know. I have my eye out all the time for like the handy quilter, which is more of a table thing. Who knows? I don't know. I'm retiring in 3 months, so I could be quilting a lot more than I have been. Okay, so that's it on the quilting. One more row and that's done. Well, one more row and then the outside border, and that's done. So campfire story. I had one in my head. I think I'm going to stick with the bear story. There's a couple of them. We have bear around here in Northwest New Jersey, and we've had quite a few visitors. I think the first time, I've got about 10 bear stories, so I think the first time we ever had a bear in the yard, my husband was outside cutting wood, and I heard him call for me. And I went to the back door. He called my name, and he said, "Get your camera." And he was chopping wood outside, not really that far from our back door. And there was a yearling that came into the yard. I had at the time, we don't keep them out now because it's just an attractant, but at the time I had a huge hopper feeder full of black oil sunflower seed. I used to do the feeder watch for Cornell University, and he was after the hopper feeder. We already had someone come in, some bear come in and eat about 50 pounds of seed before that, so it wasn't really full. And so this yearling came into the yard, and he was after the hopper feeder. So I got quite a few pictures. I wish this was in the date. This was with a regular camera, so this was 30 years ago. I wish I gotten digital pictures. If I can find the printed pictures, I'll have to scan them and put them in, but I don't think I'll be able to do that today. Anyway, this little yearling came into the yard, and he was hugging the hopper feeder while my husband was chopping wood. He didn't even care. And they need to be afraid of us. So, I know we're in their territory, but we try. We don't want them to be fed. We want them to be wild. We want them to have a healthy fear of us because we should have a healthy fear and respect of them. So my husband chased him out of the yard, but not before he climbed a tree. So it was like, how are we going to get this bear out of here? He was figuring it out. But like I said, we cannot keep feed out in regular feeders because we've had every single one of them taken down. So we don't do that anymore. My feeders are actually right out my window here. I have a Birdify, which is a bird cam feeder, and I have a regular feeder. Right now they're flying, the birds are flying, eating out of the regular feeder because we're going to get some nasty weather later, rain. But they're about 20 feet off the ground, and if a bear gets to them, I'm done. I'm just not going to feed birds anymore. But I've had the bears take down, we took them from the backyard and we put them on the front porch. Now I do have video of a bear going up on my front porch. We don't generally, we take them in. We don't leave them out. We do all the things you're supposed to do to not attract them, but bears. So yeah, that's my campfire story. The yearling that was hanging out with my husband while he was chopping some wood one day in the fall. I have other bear stories I'll probably get to, but that's it for today. I am at almost 48 minutes, and I want to get this uploaded for you guys. So, have a great 2 weeks, and hope everybody's happy and healthy, and I hope you're not getting slammed with any more snow. I hope we can, I don't know. I still think we're going to get a nasty storm. We thought we were going to get some bad weather yesterday. Got a little bit of snow, a little bit of ice. That was it. But I still got a funny feeling, and I don't want an April snowstorm. So anyway, stitch. Do everything that makes you happy. Chill. And I will talk to you in 2 weeks. Stitch away. Bye.